Yes? You needed something?
Registration accepted. You may now proceed through the historical displays in the orientation hall, or continue on to the examination.
You've been through the exhibit? You see, certainly likes to
Neon,
talk about
so
himself,
I
huh?
get big sick.
Ah, este es el museo que sé que...
In 2150, humanity learned the Earth's magnetosphere would collapse
Okay.
sometime in the next half-century, eliminating all life on the planet. Decisive action was required, but the secure transport of an entire civilization would demand a new kind of cooperation, a new kind of courage, and a new kind of union. Thus, in 2159, the United Colonies were formed to make that journey possible. Just 1 year later, the Galileo, the first of many colony ships, touched down here on Jemison, beginning a new era of human history, the age of the United Colonies.
The exodus from Earth meant more than just the beginnings of the United Colonies. It's a tremendous undertaking.
From their foundation, the United Colonies strove to provide all their citizens with opportunity, security, and peace. But there were those among the UC that still wanted something more: independence. So in 2161, the UC issued the Centaurus Proclamation, granting UC citizens the right to settle distant worlds and form their own sovereign powers. It wasn't long before the first new faction, the Free Star Collective, was formally organized in 2188, later followed by House Varun, revealing themselves to the universe in 2230.
I am beginning to find this presentation reductive and annoying.
It was only in 2230 that the faction known as House Varun first made contact with the rest of the settled systems. Founded by the passengers of a colony ship that had left New Atlantis and disappeared 4 decades earlier, House Varun was a faction unlike any other.
Esta más es de House Varun.
Dedicated wholly to the beliefs of its isolationist founder, Jinan Varun. House Varun initially made overtures of peace towards the rest of the settled systems. They claimed their only intention was to spread the word of their god, the Great Serpent. But none could have guessed that this worship might take the form of a bloody war, the Serpent's Crusade. The Freestar Collective was initially founded in 2188, when the citizens of Akira banded together with the pleasure city of Neon in mutual defense. But in 2194, After the deployment of a UC medical star station in orbit around their world, the citizens of Narion also requested to join the collective. The resulting rise in tensions between the Freestar Collective and UC culminated in the settled system's first intergalactic conflict, the Narion War. Despite a decisive victory by the UC, the colonies permitted the citizens of Narion to join the collective, forming the basis for the fiercely independent union that persists to this day.
Con el nuevo driver me da 150 FPS. ¿Cómo debe de ser? Solo Kang leería esto.
Beginning in 2240, House Varun forces declared all-out war on the rest of human civilization, initiating the Serpent's Crusade.
Juega el Baldur's Gate, vea. ¿Por qué no lo
For
juegas?
the next 23 years, thousands of Freestar, UC, and independent souls were killed by agents of House Varun in the name of their serpent god. It was only with the death of their founder in 2263 and the succession of his heir Jarek that House Varun finally sued for peace. There remained, however, select members of House Varun who refused to recognize the cessation of hostilities their leaders established. Even after House Varun's mysterious disappearance, these zealots remain a threat to all who encounter them. Their pacification, a goal of all space.
Puta madre. Ah, aquí viene la historia de los xenomorphos.
Of the many conflicts between the galaxy's factions, none was more brutal than the recent colony war between the UC and the Freestar Collective. Set off by the unauthorized Freestar colonization of Vesta's Pride in 2308, a direct
Robinson.
violation of the Narion Treaty, the colony war
Voy a bajarle un poquito el juego para que me escuchen.
spread quickly across the galaxy. Both sides deployed every tool at their disposal. Armadas of warships, mechanized combat platforms, or mechs, even bio-engineered alien creatures, the infamous UC Xeno-weapons. It was only in 2311 at the Battle of Cheyenne that the scales finally tipped. The Freestar Collective, utilizing their civilian fleet as a human shield, successfully crippled the superior United Colonies Navy. After their shocking victory against the galaxy's greatest navy, the Freestar Collective offered terms of peace, which the colonies, out of an interest in staving off any further human costs, accepted. The galaxy has been rebuilding ever since.
I suspect many in the Freestar Collective would take issue with the way the colony war is represented here.
Few settled worlds were left untouched by the colony war. But nowhere could the viciousness of modern warfare be seen more clearly than on the Freestar planet of Nira. Initially occupied by invading United Colonies forces as a forward operating position, repeated attempts to take and retake the planet by collective forces led only to devastation. Swaths of the world were transformed into scorched husks, a nightmarish testament to the depths of human ingenuity and human cruelty. And today, Nira remains a continuing reminder to the horrors of unfettered war.
¿Hay mechs o no hay mechs?
I really hope this is just a phase.
One of my slates said terramorphs can control people's minds.
In the midst of the colony war,
That can't be
a
true.
different kind of tragedy struck the UC city of Londinian. A newly constructed but critical supply center for the United Colonies war effort, Londinian found itself overrun by one of the galaxy's most mysterious predators,
This thing
the
is
Terramorph.
like an
¿Qué es esto, pues?
right? No
A rare but pervasive threat to all human-settled worlds. Terramorphs swept over the city.
Ese debe
out of
ser un
nowhere,
DLC, por
on a
ejemplo.
scale never before seen in recorded history.
En lugar de rovers,
slowed the onslaught,
mechs,
but the
para que puedas
creatures
moverte rápido, ¿no? Con jets.
unstoppable. Ultimately, the decision was made to destroy the Londinian spaceport, sealing off the city, the outbreak, and its citizenry from the galaxy at large. The tragedy of Londinian is mourned by the UC to this day. After the devastation wrought by the Colony War, the UC and the Freestar Collective came
Private
together
sector
to ratify a
now
treaty
answering
that
a real
became
money
known
thing.
as the Armistice. Both sides agreed to a vast reduction in standing forces, and that xeno weapons and mech warfare would be outlawed. All related research
Prohibieron
was
los
sealed
mechas,
away,
¿ves?
accessible only in cases of dire
Qué
emergency.
pendejos.
But the Collective had another demand, that the active commanders of the UC military stand trial for their actions. The United Colonies, in the interest of peace and galactic security, agreed. In 2311, 3 United Colonies senior officers were found guilty. Commander Henry Durant, General Indira Rastogi, and Fleet Admiral Francois Sanon, known better as Ve Victus. All were sentenced to death for their actions,
Is there a type of
bringing the
weapon
colony
combat
war
tech
to a
Holmes
close
make?
and returning peace to the galaxy at long last.
After everything, it is almost impossible to believe that the armistice happened. But I admit I am glad it did. The settled systems have benefited.
It was into this new world that the Vanguard was born. An official branch of the UC Navy, the Vanguard is the United Colonies Volunteer Fleet, serving a myriad of security, logistical, and reconnaissance roles. And after a sufficient length of service, UC citizenship is guaranteed to every Vanguard member. Open to all captains, regardless of origin, the Vanguard is leading the charge to protect and support the citizens of the United Colonies, wherever in the galaxy they may be. No one is born a United Colony citizen. Only through service to the UC can one hope to earn one's citizenship. But the UC prides itself on taking care of its people. Cost of living controls mean citizens pay less than their foreign counterparts for needs big and small. All citizens are issued a grant upon joining to get themselves on their feet. And only UC citizens have the opportunity to purchase property, getting the chance to live in one of the most beautiful cities in the settled systems.
Estos no se pueden robar.
By joining the Vanguard today, you too can begin earning your place here, in the heart of galactic civilization, as a citizen of the United Colonies.
If you are free soon, could we talk?
Venga, mija.
Yes? Never would I have imagined to encounter something like these Starborn. Yes. Regardless of how impossible they may have seemed before. I agree we should keep looking for answers, but clearly these Starborn are connected to the artifacts, which would mean that... Did they make these things? Have they... Yes. Given our... We will need to be on our guard from now on. They seem to know much. We should return to our search then.
Welcome, applicant, to the piloting simulation chamber. Please enter the
What is it?
designated simulation pod to initiate your exam.
You do not need to ask me if you may ask. You may just ask. All right then.
Ah, you must be our new applicant. Of course. You'll be running through a high-realism combat flight simulation. Your task is to defeat at least 3 tiers of simulated opponent. However, if you defeat more than 3 tiers of enemies, and your enlistment bonus increase, but you're welcome to try as many times as you like. We'll only keep the highest score you manage to.
Ah, lo puedes persuadir también.
All right then.
This is the Mark 18 flight simulation chamber, applicant. Currently in orbit around a high-detail recreation of a remote world. When you're ready to begin, please take a seat in the pilot's chair. Your exam is simple. Defeat as many tiers of opponents as you can before your ship is disabled. You must defeat at least 3 tiers of opponents to pass the exam. Good hunting, applicant.
New targets active.
Congratulations, applicant. You've defeated sufficient opponents to pass the exam. You may now exit the simulator through the hatch to record your current score, or stay and try your hand at the remaining tiers. Resuming the examination.
New targets active.
Target defeated.
All targets eliminated. Progress recorded. Tier 4 reached. Initiating Tier 5.
proceed to the exit hatch to log your results, or restart the exam from the simulation's control terminal.
Ah, difícil eso. Sí. Loquísimo esa huevada. No sé en qué cabeza alguien compraría un iPhone.
Congratulations, applicant.
Que sí hay gente que compra iPhones ya,
Head
pero
up to Commander Tuala to receive your final results
tan
and
caro
your
para más
probationary
de
assignment.
eso. O sea,
Or
no
you're
creo que
welcome to
sea
take
ese
another
el
run at the
destino.
simulation if you'd like to try and earn a better score. Good showing in there, applicant. Your results should be finalized by the time you get back to Commander Tuala.
El Xperia. El teléfono PSP.
Only those on official United Colonies business can access the building.
Well, look who's back. Everything go all right with the exam? Did you? Ah, so these are your numbers that just came. I like the fire, applicant. So, looking at the data, hit every mural in the orientation hall, huh? A test of preparation and thoroughness. To trace the Vanguard values highly. Psychological results are all within expected levels. Navy doesn't have room for folks that'll fall apart the first time they're trying to outrun a homing missile. Now, how'd you do against your foes? Tier 4, not too shabby. The techs make us test each level of the sim too. I can tell you that wave are some real artificial bastards. Good job putting them away.
If I had any reservations about flying with you, they are now gone. Well done.
So then, looking at your results as a whole, and presuming you're successful in completing your probationary mission, you could have your UC citizenship after only 10 years service. Pretty standard for combat assignments. But your performance in the simulator does mean I can offer a signing bonus. Help convince you to join the cause.
10 years can be a long time. You must be certain it is something you actually care about.
So, sounds to me like we've got Vanguard material on our hands. If you're interested, we could bring you on as a provisional member today. Get you the credits you've earned, then send you out on your probationary mission. First though, all UC service people, provisional or otherwise, are required to swear an oath. So, you want to make this official? Commit yourself to the cause of the colonies? Fantastic.
Este Ken dijo que había un parche, pero yo no veo ningún parche. Al menos empecé, no ha habido ningún parche. Puedes moverte más rápido, soplador.
Wouldn't be right doing this where we couldn't see the skies. Now, the motto of the Vanguard, is supra et ultra, above and beyond. That is where we serve, beyond the furthest reaches of the United Colonies military, and with honor and duty above reproach. Do you swear to protect and defend the citizens of the United Colonies to the best of your abilities? And to uphold the values of the Vanguard, honor, loyalty, self-reliance, in all your actions as a member of the United Colonies Navy? Then let me be the first to officially. Now, only thing left is getting you that probation. And what I've got is comms repair. Group trying to refurb an old colony war processing plant on Tau Ceti 2. Place is as isolated as they come. So Brass wants a Vanguard to deliver. So, can the people of Tau Ceti 2? That's the spirit. Head down to the spaceport and talk to Crew Chief Harath. He'll get you the repairs. Oh, and your advance. Give it your all out there.
5,000 nomás. Pelar.
Oh! Need a moment to walk that off?
Un parche para el Aya Neo. Un parche de drivers, quizás. En la Steam Deck nunca te preocupas por parches de drivers porque Valve se encarga de esa va.
I'm thankful these rides are quick. I do not like being in small, enclosed spaces with people I do not know.
How you liking that laser gun?
New Atlantis puts on a wonderful show of security.
She managed to limp back here at all. Bullet for leeches, get it fixed up, and let her know we'll have it ready as soon as we can. Ah, you are new. It's my job to make sure all you... Now, manifest says with... In addition to the standard issue welcome, med packs, some small arms, couple spare ship parts. My people will have everything on your... So, nice easy one for your first job. Any questions before you head out? I honestly didn't realize it had people living on it. Report they gave us seemed clean. Just watch out for wildlife and pirates. Nothing too dangerous, if that's your concern. The welcome kit has some goodies in there I wouldn't leave sitting around. Then I won't keep you. Make us look good out there.
Guardar, ¿no? Aceite de serpiente.
Always a satisfying moment to return to your ship.
Do you need me for something?
Cállate. ¿Ves? A mí, mira. Yo también. Gimme. Nivel 12 más 1. Este me es spoileando el Daniel. Daniel es el Edward del Starfield. De ver el kit.
Is mining on the schedule today?
Dice, no puedes quitar de tu nave principal los puestos de misiones de transporte. Ok. Lo que sea que signifique eso. Ya sabe. Estas son las cosas que yo dejé, porque si no, no habría nada aquí. No, no he jugado. ¿Y Andrea dónde está? Se quedó.
This does not look to have been motivated by theft. That may make it worse.
Grito.
Either I got hit harder than I thought, or you've got some incredible timing. Regardless, I think it knows you're here. I'll unlock the door. Second floor, main building. But be quiet.
What does your scanner reveal?
So what do we got here? It's too clean to be one of the settlers. Or a pirate. Oh, I've been better. But I think bleeding out is at least off the table. So, if you wanted to tell me I'm heavy in... Vanguard, huh? I'm Hadrian. I came here on a rumor of a... What's left of the settlers? One of the nastiest aliens humanity's ever crossed paths with.
A terromorph? Here? Why did you not state that immediately?
McKnight!
I managed to scope out a fair bit of the facility before it found me. If there are any survivors of the attack, they're long gone. Terramorphs have a unique growth cycle. They're usually only found on worlds that have been long colonized by humanity. But Tao said he's too young to have one. Yet here, I came looking for an explanation and...
They are death made manifest.
Suppose that's a pretty good summary. Among apex predators, they're the pinnacle. Resilient, agile, smart, and their mental prowess only increases. Some can even dominate the minds of weaker species. They're creatures. I sure could. Because to confirm my But there is a way we can... The admin terminal's here in this building, but it needs its connection reset. But if you can make it to the security outpost and restore the connection, I think I can get things back online. See if the settlers left us any other tools. Admin access is centralized to the terminal in this room. But even if that weren't the case... It's the building in the middle of the facility. The terminal in there should allow you to grant me access. Then we can see about getting... The settlers outfitted most of the buildings with turrets at some point. Not sure how many are still up. There were also... But those are honest... Good. Once I... Take care of yourself. And make sure you leave enough of that thing for...
Connection restored. I'll make this quick. Plant's turrets took a beating, but I should be able to get you a couple of kill lanes. Just get the thing to chase you down the alleys between the buildings, and you'll lead it right into a crossfire. Hello. I wish I'd found this earlier. Those sensors around the facility? Part of a livestock tracking system. Should let you keep tabs on how close the terramorph is. But it's not connected to this network. There should be a terminal in the adjoining room. Tune it to 183.5.
Always worth checking. Never know what you might find in their pockets.
Tracker's reading green. What's that sound?
Lockdown is active.
Shit. Stop. Stop whatever you're doing and get in cover. It's on the move. Look, I wouldn't engage directly if you could avoid it. The kill lanes. They're set up but need power. There's breakers on each of the buildings you can throw to get them live. Once they're online, lead the terramorph towards the lights and watch the fireworks. Give it hell, Vanguard.
There must have been a good incentive for him to locate here. Some sort of test. I've never seen one like this.
System rearm. Failed. Additional power required. Next power breaker. Local defenses restored. Activated. Stand clear.
It is done. So you think, to mark the occasion, we would be allowed to take a small piece? As a trophy?
Escaneado, pa. Sabes que sí tengo el DLSS 3, pero hoy hubo una actualización de driver de Nvidia y no sé si eso lo está jodiendo hoy en cambio, porque quizás necesitamos una actualización del truquito del DLSS. Murió.
Tracker's gone quiet. I suspect it's either... Wait. You did it, didn't you? Oh, yeah. Take... You didn't happen to grab me a tissue sample? All right. I spotted a microscope down...
Deme, ¿cómo no vas a actualizar, perro? Pueden hacerla caminar más lento, loco.
That was quite a leap.
Dale, mijín.
Older model. Okay, let's see what you can do. Running basic diagnostics. Nothing. Maybe a flag scan? No. Spectrograph.
Pasó ahora.
This equipment, it's not set up to do a proper... Humanity's spread plenty of creatures in our travel, but terramorphs, to our knowledge, no one's ever spread. So when humans settle a world, 70 to 100. Talseti, though, it's too young to have a native pop. But then the other option, that someone captured, that seems, which means...
Este está mejor que la historia principal, definitivamente.
Or a faster type of terramorph growth. The terramorph outbreaks have taken down far... Well, they're not exactly buying tickets. The theory is that they're spread by some kind of egg. But how the hell an undetectable egg turns into... And it's why what's happened here... They have. They even took down an entire... It's the only known loss of that scale, but... You're right. Time was, I had access to one of the best repositories of terramorph research in the... But we also need to get this sample prop. Luckily, I think I know just the person to help with the sample.
Literalmente.
What would you say to delivering this to him for me?
¿Te imaginas que
I'd
el
do it
setting de
myself,
la...
but I need to call in some
en
favors.
lugar de minería
See if I
sea de
can't get
que
access to
hubieras
that terramorph
estado
data.
escapando de la ciudad que fue atacada por
Plus,
los
maybe
terrormorfos o
just
como se
pop
llamen,
by the
¿no?
hospital for a little bit. Clear it with your commander first if you... You can even show them this. My gene tag. Tell them Hadrian Sanan. I was. Long time ago. Family tradition. Oh, you don't understand. I need Dr. Percival Walker to put together a sample analysis for... I'm not sure exactly where to find him, but there's a place called the Sixth Circle in Sidonia. And here, it's not exactly about... Now please, go check in with your commander.
Best not to leave anything useful behind.
Vamos a ir directo. Mientras carga voy a ir al baño.
Look who's back. All set with that probationary mission? We can do your debrief and formally welcome you into the Vanguard whenever you're ready. The military used to have a pretty narrow view of where the best pilots came from. The creation of the Vanguard was an acknowledgement by the brass, so it's the Vanguard's job. MAS is short for Military Admin. From here, the three co-equal, be that through mutual defense. Now, serving any of the UC's, understandable. Most people will, not something I'd ever choose for myself. Me? 6, 7 years now? But Vanguard's been a quality. Meet new people, just... A terror? What? How did you walk away with the terramorph tissue sample running comms repairs? What happened to the settlers? A gene tag? Let me see that. Sanan. I know that name. Let me check the database. Huh. A lot of this data's been classified. Here we go. Service record. Wow. That's a lot of commendations. Seems like she served with distinction as co-head of a UC Xenoweapons division. Faced tribunal at the end of the Colony War and was dismissed from duty. Guess that's why I'd heard the name before. If she's former Xeno warfare, though, well, we can at least be sure she knows her aliens. Notation says that Sanan already faced punishment, and her sending you to me first makes me think she's... Considering her history, reaching out to the UC probably... In the run-up to the Colony War, the UC started a program with a singular goal. Find the deadliest, most terrifying aliens in the galaxy, and have them fight on the side of the UC. Never saw... any of the deployments myself. At which point... Certainly seems that way. Did your survivor, Hadrian, did she mention what? She thinks there could... This has been one... I did actually have another mission lined up for you. Supporting... But now I guess you have two options on how to proceed. Head to the UC Vigilance and help out SysDef, or deliver that sample. I'll make sure you get the proper clearance. Consider these your first official orders. And here, so everyone knows you're working with the Vanguard's also got some custom ship modifications. You'll be cleared for access to... Now, if there wasn't...
Yo tengo mods y nunca me han quitado los logros, porque ahí me sale un logro, por ejemplo. ¿Qué tal el juego en tercera persona? A ver, vamos a poner en tercera persona. Ahí, ¿no? Lo malo de tercera persona es que vas a ver que el men siempre está... Siempre está con el traje puesto. Bueno, yo le dejo el traje puesto porque si voy a andar en los planetas y todo, andarse sacando y poniendo el traje... No tiene tanto sentido. Quizás esa es la que usan los NPC porque nunca tiene traje. Se quedó. Se crasheó. Crasheadito, pa. Qué vaina, Pirri. A ver qué ha puesto tu... Así que se compró una vaca de los huevos de oro. Eso sí, ¿no? Eso sí le hace un puta. Alita rock. Pero dile que haga un clip personalizado, no puedes temer. Corre bien. Tercera persona va muy bien. Solo que no va a 120, va a 90 y pico nomás.
Invoices can be collected from... Oh.
Do you now? Well, I do wish I could help you, Cap.
A shame, too. We had such high... Not the sort of work the Trade Authority traditionally does. I invested no small... But then he decided to... I presume the miners have him hidden. But at this point... They were all devils. Red devils. I presume a number of them served alongside... Dr. Walker decided to start brewing and selling his own... Something his contract expressly forbade. Perhaps a little too severely, but well within legal limits. It was around then that he...
That won't be necessary. The Trade Authority... But we would like the money he owes us. If you can
Just this one time? I am all too aware that once one starts doing favors... Yes, not everything needs to be a transaction.
Pity.
Perhaps a little advance on my part might pique your interest. Visit the Sixth Circle, a bar on the lowest level of the city. If someone in Sidonia knows where
sí, lo he
Percival
visto.
is, you...
Un poco se parece.
I have things I wish to discuss with you.
Red and orange. It's red and orange as far as I get it.
I wanted to thank you for giving me the chance to work with you. You seem to be acclimating well to constant... I think none of us were expecting. You have certainly become a vital part of the organ. If I may, from what you have seen... I cannot tell if that is a compliment or... I have a very different background from the rest of Constellation. I have not shared much, but everyone knows I worked with smugglers for years. Yes, exactly. For those that have not lived it, it can be difficult. Vladimir is the only one here who can begin to understand. I lack his charm. That is kind of you. You also have a lot going. I know this seems trivial. By a group, Thank you. Discussing these things is challenging for me. I wanted to thank you for not saying anything to Vladimir. I know that you said you wouldn't, but... Indeed it was. Thank you for talking this over with me.
Ya estamos en camino, perro. El que es en la pesa es el...
Seek a community center representative to plan your event or regular gathering today.
Broken Spear's upstairs. Go drown yourself there.
Doc Walker? Andy, you. Why don't you come here and tell me what some stray wants...
The red eyes are some badge of honor, I take it? Difficult to conceal.
Go have gravel.
Not every day a stray topsider wanders into my bar claiming they know people. That's so. All right. Maybe she did sin. But look, even if I decided I was going to help you get in contact with Dr. Walker, he's dead to the Trade Authority. But if someone resolved that debt, can bet that person would make a friend out of Percival and the... Red Devils with a meat. Couldn't get in if you hadn't done at least... Made us tough. That's why they chose us as the handlers for the uses, you know. Percival, though, he wasn't a grunt like all of us. But it was those monsters that did us in. Red Devils included. Me? Nah. Infantry officer. Monsters from the darkest corners of the Black Rim. Armistice hurt us more than most, but... Well... Most straightforward way to take care of this debt would be to just... Of course, rumor is the Trade Authority keeps all their records. If someone was to break in there and adjust Percival's debt to...
Crossing the Trade Authority could be perilous.
But, one friend of Hadrian's to another, Sidonia's full of old youth, say, with an entrance behind the bar at the Broken Street. And I look forward...
Hey, you! Maybe Hadrian's friend. Come here.
Heard you talking with Lou, so... Oh, no, I mean, I've got my suspicion. Sure. Listen, I know how you can do it without having to resort to aqueous heat. Mars is full of it. People think it's just garbage, but Percival and I, we would, at least when he wasn't slaving away at his... But we stumbled on a way to make it useful. You give our research over to Octai at the Trade Authority, it should more than... No. Well, yes. I'd help him make whatever the city was running low on that month, and we'd sell it. But the Trade Authority got wind. It's mostly iron and about 3 centuries of human water runoff, though only Percival would be able to tell. But it builds up around human settlements, and something about the Martian soil changes it. Oh, I'm Cambridge. I was Percival's assistant. Well, apprentice, really. Couldn't work. Knows experiments inside. Well, yeah. We were never able to finish the research. Spacers moved in and ran it.
Oh, I know what comes next.
But if you can clear them out, I can walk you. Then you can give it over to the Trade Authority. They'll get folks working in the deep mines again. Jobs come back, I become a modern-day folk hero. Then I don't have to sleep on an inflated spacesuit anymore. Biggest employer on Mars has always been Demo Star Yards. Fewer ships meant fewer minerals. That meant a lot of... a bunch of parasites. They're folks from the fringes of space, willing to put down anyone who tries to move in on... Strange this group would pick Mars as a new home. Sure, my guess is the Authority tipped them off. Great. So access to the deep mines can be found outside the city. It's enough. We'd set up right near the main drill. Taking out the spacer leader should get them. Once you've managed that, phone up here on the comms panel.
Deluxe condos aren't anything special, but plenty of people.
Sí corre muy bien en tercera persona. ¿Cómo hago el cambio que quiere ese men? What? Como un nivel intermedio.
here to broker a deal, why don't you try someone else?
Ah, hay que ser maestro para bloquearlo.
Absolutely.
Used to think I was Vanguard material.
Demos. One of the earlier.
Subterranean particle detonation imminent. Be advised to secure this particle and find stable ground or remain seated in the event of unforeseen tremor. Detonation.
Stay away from the sixth circle unless you're a miner.
4,
Or at least don't come crying to me if anything happens.
2, 1.
Guardado rápido.
Particle detonation.
You can't succeed at that before we are discovered. This off and make it happen. Also rather visually pleasing.
Yeah? Not something you want to say too loud now, but...
Me dio 500 nada más este web.
Was there something? Do you now? Let me take it. That's not the number I remember. Here. I expect this won't be a...
Be cleared. You have my thanks. Oh, and if you do find him, please let
done, eh? My end of the bargain. He's holed up in the old Red Devils. Place was sealed up tight after the UC shuttered our unit. Good you're going in there, actually. But don't expect he'd run out before they got taken care of. Here, the passkey.
Vamos a... O sea, sí le pensaba hacer, pero... El sigilo, para el sigilo, eso estaba mejor.
Greetings, Captain.
How are you, Dusty?
Deimos. Ah, esta nave es de Deimos, pues se me doy cuenta. LOL. Sí, viste que el Kenk dijo que está muy cagona hacer el Arwing Star Fox. Este Edward haciendo trampa, como siempre. ¿Cuál es la novedad ahí? Pero no estoy en la correcta. Seleccioné mal, entonces. A 1 kilómetro. Jonesy. A ver. ¿Sabes qué? Creo que esta es la nave con la que hicimos el test. El test de la Vanguard. La prueba. Yo creo que debería dejarte hacer la misión de matar a los espacistas igual, pero ese ya. ¿Qué es ahí? Tengo que correr, entonces. Está en la misma mina. Me imaginé que a la final se iba directo. Igual yo de estar ahí.
Sometimes it seems the UC does not remember. Its history is tied to this place.
Parece que hay un bug ahí. No me estaba bajando el oxígeno antes. Y estaba corriendo.
Something may be nearby.
Got you! I'm moving. Fire!
You cannot beat me. Time to die.
Damn it!
What?
I cannot wait.
Always worth checking. Never know what you might find in their pockets.
Aparecieron de la nada esos mes. Como que estaban afuera y dijeron vamos a teletransportarlo ahí con el...
Remain alert. Best to assume we have not seen the last of these spacers.
puse en la coma y no me funciona eso. Ah, es un apóstrofe. Ya. Justo se cruzó cuando estaba queriendo robarle. No hay nada aquí, pues. Ah, te lees ahí en... ¿Quién le habla a este men? Así Andrea, con razón no marcado. Pero no veo cómo bajar aquí. Por aquí. que le hago nada con esta arma. Se muere. Lo que yo tengo es desequilibrante low giver. Grendel. Esto la voy a descartar. Sidestar. Solstice. Hace el mismo daños. No veo diferencia aquí. Esto es lo que vale menos.
Literally.
Veterano calibrado. Ángel. Ariel, ¿cómo estamos? Tienes que ponerte así para que patines.
Do you suppose the miners who once operated this eventually found safer work?
Bueno, por ejemplo, para saltar, ¿no? Para plataformear sí te sirve el jetpack. No es para caminar. Es la misma base, pues la matita cosa, la que decía el otro amigo. El Starfield. Esta historia está mejor definitivamente que la principal. Pero ¿por qué no fue la principal? Es la pregunta. Mi teoría es que la principal quisieron que se dedique al tema de los poderes. Y estas ya son como añadidas, ¿no?
So you must be the one who got me out of the red with the trade authority. Can't say I don't appreciate it. I doubt you came all this way just to do me a favor. Now you want to explain to me why you're going around harassing nefarious old men by wiping... Adrian sent you. She's... A terramorph? She's for... So what's this she had you bring on? Adrian said that. If she made you come all the way for this...
Y André ya murió en Rich porque no la veo. Excelente, excelente física. Teletransportada adentro. Aquí está.
Gonna ask you to not touch anything. Got some projects in the works down here. I wasn't expecting guests. Oh, Lou mentioned how you took care of the debt. Managed to negotiate it down to something easy. Good to see someone give the trade authority a bit of their own milk. All queued up. Let's gaze into this abyss, shall we? All right. Just get those cellular markers tagged. Wait. Where are the markers? This can't be right. This sample, it's Londinian. I'll need to get this all in a slate. Adrian really gave you this sample. You're not lying to me? Because if you told me this was a hoax, and it'd be the best damn fake I've ever seen, I'd be mad and very, very relieved. Can't just humor an old man, huh? This sample, it's got all the indicators of the worst terramorph attack in you. I presume you've heard of one. It was. The swarms are so bad, they had to blow the spaceport. Not a lot of samples made it off the world from the time of the... I didn't detect any of the telltale signatures this specimen ever... I don't think it was transported to Tal Ceti. Which means, if we're about to start a new era in human terramorph, that's not gonna end well for you.
The chances for survival, let alone maintaining any kind...
So, you lugged this bad omen all the way here. Because until now, the terramorphs that wiped out... What happened there? It was a tragedy. But at least it was contained. So to find evidence for a similar attack on a different world... Well, so I'd love to know what... The circle, huh? Here, faster we take the lift to the surface. Not supposed to use it, but given the circle...
Norma Field. El Starfield. Y ahora como tengo muchas cosas no puedo irme. ¿Qué votamos?
Any adventure you can fly away from. Is that how the saying goes?
Captain, it is pleasant to see you.
¿Cuántos compañeros puedes llevar por nave? 3. O depende de la nave. ¿Y cuántos compañeros puede llevar a misiones? 2. O 1 nada más. Me quedó esta hora, chucho, no. Ahorita tiene 2, porque encontramos uno más. Dios mío. Si quieres escuchas el rumor completo y ya te añade la misión.
Is that really her? Adrian.
Percival. My God, look at you. You're an old man now.
You're no hatchling yourself anymore, Major. Our friend here showed me your sample. Suffice it to say...
Not here. Let's talk somewhere more private. Lou said we could use the back.
Might be some. Not a lot of folks would have stuck their necks out for a stranger like that.
Lou gave me the abridged version of what went down.
Makes 2 of us.
I hope it ultimately... And I'm sorry about that. So, were you two able to get...
Got it right here. That sample? It's an exact...
Londinian.
Not thrilled to be the bearer of that kind of news. That's...
Well, right now, we've got more.
Good place to start. But you...
It's in the archive.
The Armistice Arc? Doesn't that mean we be... And the Freestar Collective? Guess we can kiss that approach.
I didn't think the cabinet would be willing to hear us out either. But I called it. 1, they want to see this analysis. And 2, they want to discuss what happened on Tau Ceti with both of us. Well, when the Colony War came to a close, the UC, Freestar, and House Va'ruun. All information related to the things they did. Now, it's possible to get things out of there. And as to what our the Cabinet's the UC's highest governing body. Any major decision, they're the only real chance we've got of... Of course. Percival and I, we were military scientists. Ran a division of the UC.
Place I was hiding out. That was our unit's home base.
After some early fits and starts at other facilities, a practice that's been banned ever since the armistice. No. We were both dismissed after the war for what we did. These days, our damage has been done. Well, it was during that assignment that the UC asked us. The project never got off the ground, but the data our team gathered is now under the watchful eye of monitors. But if we can convince the cabinet to help us access, and hopefully how to because the Terramorph project was... Terramorphs are too mean, too smart. The data that's in the archives, it's historic. I doubt they would have even classified it if it didn't have a Z. I mean, I hope they will, given the evidence we've acquired.
Since neither group is exactly on...
Exactly. It's going to mean but I don't see a better option to solve it. All right. I'm gonna go get this work up into the cabinet's hands.
Good luck.
De una. Gracias, Ángel. La verdad es que estoy jugando porque Daniel me tiene aquí comprometido con ese juego ya.
I have never quite been able to think of New Atlantis as home. Though I suppose I should.
Captain! Over here! The workup's in the cabinet's hands. But listen, I know. So, in the interest of full disclosure, my relationship with the UC, it's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus, woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin, a title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come.
Eres un clon de un hombre.
A non-trivial amount of gene editing. Clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship, thanks to the amount of donor material that was required to bring me into this world. He and I are different on more than a few levels, but there's no denying the fact we're inextricably linked. I'm the last. A few of my siblings, they passed when we were young. Training accidents and the like. But most of the rest were deployed to the front lines during the Colony War, and they never came back. Not a day goes by where I don't think about what the world would look like with them still in it. He would have happily told you he was one of the greats. Ultimately, though, it didn't matter. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death, on both sides. Freestar Collective, and UC. Military, and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned.
Exactamente, así mismo estamos.
He had his men open fire on civilian ships during the Battle of Cheyenne. A battle that he ultimately ended up losing anyway, devastating the UC fleet and bringing the Colony War to an ugly end for the UC. But he's also the one who ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport during their outbreak, condemning countless lives. Both sides agreed the settled systems would be better without him. I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know, considering how much you've done already. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or, if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here.
Que hago mientras salen juegos buenos.
That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity. The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from in the first place. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mine before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up. And the eyes were my parting gift. Well, thinking about it more, I suspect there'd be value in sharing the fact that the Terramorph project was, well, a failure. There's no need to be afraid of this data being weaponized. Knowing that should calm some of the Cabinet's fears and make it easier for us to dispel any suspicions the other factions might have about our intentions. I mean, we never spent a lot of time together. He was too busy being Fleet Admiral to deal with kids. I was raised by a pair of Guardians instead. Until his defeat during the Colony War, though, he was known as an extremely effective commander. Savvy, perceptive. That mind opened a lot of doors for him. And for me, too. But Victus, for all his ability, was heartless. Ruthless to a fault. In the end, that's what cost him his life. Eye strain from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon if we succeed. The Terramorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. They're deadly creatures, but they aren't xenoweapons. The cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous, which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring up, should the opportunity arise.
Vamos.
Then I guess it's just...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Y de vuelta, Pirri. Me recuerda Mass Effect.
You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the cabinet.
That's quite the leap, Captain. Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, Terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask how many deaths the cabinet requires to act. 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt, the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties. Chief Essene has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question,
That is worth considering. This attack took place on an almost completely uninhabited world. The casualties were minimal as a result. But if there's another attack, will we be so lucky?
Yes, a fine point, Admiral. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position...
Whatever risks exist, they are outweighed by this imminent threat. I agree. The request should be granted.
I'm inclined to agree.
As am I.
I suppose that does get to the heart of the point, doesn't it? Very well. I consent. The galaxy was lucky you were here today, Captain.
Muy fácil
You and
convencerlos.
I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to... What was that?
Attention. An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident? Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
Oh,
More attacks.
aquí se pone bueno,
Just
¿eh?
as predicted.
Good God.
No.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men
Spoileando el Daniel, no puede
but
ser.
do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
Puedo hacer trampa e irme de una. No se puede. Se puso 1000 veces interesante esta bebada.
Stop! That's it! We're trying to help with everything you've got!
Stop!
Y pues el arma electromagnética.
Stop.
Thank you for what you did. The way those people were acting. I've seen this before.
I don't know. We tried to restrain them, get them on the but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't
Pheromonic project. Some terramorphs. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control. You kill the morph, you break. I honestly was just... But no, you don't need to worry about... So we'll just have to make... I'm not suggesting the result of the projection, and some lose those cases. Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked.
Ya la misión sabe que es el único lugar al que tienes que ir. ¿Para qué estoy escogiendo? No sé. Bueno.
Let's move!
All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
You might back up. Don't just stand there. Good.
spots? We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad, barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before. Well, one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
Dale como que le pudieras hablar, pero no se puede.
Captain! We're going to be okay! It's not real! Whatever you're experiencing right now, it's not real! We have to put down that door! Let's do this!
You left us. Why did you leave us? They're going to betray you. Every last one. Maybe sometimes you do know, Which one is going to kill you?
There it is! Open fire! Fire, damn it! Target down. Nice work, Captain.
The rest of the city is safe, thanks to us. You deserve whatever accolades you have coming.
What?
Guess they weren't kidding about you. Like hell it is. I don't want to think what would have happened.
Just glad we could rise to the... Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her... Take care of yourself, son.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before exiting your homes. That is
¿Cuál mesa? Stimming.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let your Captain, Hadrian, it would appear that the cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. Your concerns about the Terramorphs.
Thank you, ma'am.
Of course. Now, you will have our full support in collecting the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as... But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people. As such, the cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks. Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, someone who knows precisely the sorts. The cabinet wants you, Captain. The cabinet wants progress, and wants it quickly. There's also no diplomat alive that can claim they helped keep a... We do. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collect. So, I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United...
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that data.
Could we talk? I have been curious. I know that your role in Constellation was thrust. You could have delivered the artifact and...
Son buena gente y necesitan mi ayuda.
It does seem to be a unique... That is what keeps... My past is complicated. But my family always stressed the... Fun is not a I am not saying I am incapable of it. When I first came to New Atlantis, I was shocked. They do their jobs, eat their food, sleep in their beds. Their experience is so different from... Yes, they were. Purpose cuts through adversity. I have. My family is unique. My parents, and their parents before them, you can imagine, I am sure. They believed, and still do, that anyone who was not... My time in the settled systems has... It has certainly proven valuable. Saved me. For now, though, it would seem you and I have found purpose. I believe that is enough. I am pleased that we have common... Did you need something? That is all? Very well. Ah, hello. Indeed I do. So... yes. Hey.
Terrible corte esta huevada, loco.
These orders. A Vanguard captain. You... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require. That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre. Chief, I heard you were I was also informed that you gave quite... Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the... And that means first getting you into the Ark. Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you all. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency. UC, Freestar. Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. Get them both, and you'll have your data. But... no. Each is a strip of several million random numbers generated. They're impossible to create without those keys, and the... I couldn't agree more. Both ambassadors have reasons they won't. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can... And I do mean cooperate. Though that doesn't mean we can't. But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar? Ah, the good Ambassador Now, officially, our office is suggest... Use your experiences as a member of the military. And who knows? But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get... Certainly. See, good diplomacy is all about the careful... UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in... But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to... So, if you are going to try and access the... Now, we recovered some intel, we believe. But there's also a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for him. Name's Cameron Long. He's younger than Rat. He works closely with the ambassador. And someone... Yes, many. Don't steal anything. Don't get caught anywhere you're not. If something goes wrong, we'll do our best. All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a head. And take these. Chief Yassine wanted you to have some... Ambassador Balmore's. When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion, he's since lent his support to us, though claiming to know how a member of House Varun... Well, these days, they're primarily House Varun zealots, a fundamentalist outshoot of the group that stayed behind when the rest retreated. But that hasn't... After they ended the Serpent's Crusade about... It's why they have an embassy here in the first place, leaving behind, to our knowledge, just the...
I feel that is an overly narrow and frankly degrading description
Yes,
of an
you
entire
were
group of people.
They certainly come. We're not 100% sure Balmore. His public appearances were always rare. Scans of the facility show life. Your task is to find him and kindly but... Then you search the embassy for his biometric key, collect your code. But let's hope it doesn't... The embassy is still legally House Varun's sovereign territory, so we're not technically... We've snuck in the occasional spy, of course, but we're quite sure he hasn't... The Varun delegation brought more than a few of their native flora with them when they set up in the embassy.
Creo que
It seems
es
those plants have been allowed to flourish,
feminista hardcore.
making it hard for us. I have no doubt. Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have... Here, this device should get you all the way down to the... And fair warning, we received a report. Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new... I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Be smart out there, Cap.
I think you may be trying to take a little... too much on? Literally.
Pardon.
Veamos.
fortunate that Walter has used his considerable funds to maintain the lodge, are we not?
Al revés aquí. Puta madre, el mod de la mejora del inventario, brother, es demasiado god, loco. Ahora le ha puesto más opciones para que las clasificaciones, por ejemplo, Bethesda le pone unas clasificaciones, pero adentro hay subclasificaciones. Estos son para curarte, estos son para comida y así. Entonces ya tú seleccionas la comida y todo eso ya lo puedes ya botar directamente. No sirve para nada la comida.
Come on, there are worlds to conquer.
I like going on adventures with Dad, but I like being able to come home to my room too. Bye.
No le puedo dar los libros viejos a esta. ¿Cómo cambian los compañeros?
I'm telling you, Centauri Mills is the way.
I do appreciate that not every meter of land is plowed under to be visible. This train is far too grand for such a vehicle.
Sorry, I can sign off from the Interstellar Affairs office before I can say.
You are a visitor? You'll find the ambassador.
Visitors are only allowed in the lobby, offices, or...
I wonder how many times one side or the other has threatened to close this embassy down over the years.
That security, and they still can't protect their own spaceport. The UC never fails to disappoint. I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again. That woman is an absolute... Oh, sorry.
En la cara.
Oh, what? You know, I was about to board the Nat to the spaceport when the alarm... And like I've got you to... Doubt the Vanguard would have a lot of recruits if that... But look, they said you were... The ambassador likes to handle all that, even if she does have training. And I don't want to get shipped back to Aquila City. What, you want me?
This building is Freestar sovereign territory. So in here, we're the law.
So you want me to... No, I think that's a pretty safe assumption. And no... So then... Okay, First you need her bio key. The code machine. Her quarters. And you... And the... Oh, wait. I thought you were looking to... Really? Okay, so... There's a utility corridor that leads to the ambassador's quarters. Here. The key. Whatever you do, don't... I'll keep...
No, queda al revés.
And succeed at that before we are discovered.
Se sentó. Me dio la llave y era un armario esa huevada. Me va a decir, no, Cases, lo que pasa es que no le sacaste todos los logros, entonces por eso no. Así me va a decir.
Ah, you're the one McIntyre called about. You have my thanks for what you did to... Now, she also mentioned that now the UC wants terramorph data from the Armistice archives. Some of the most high... I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg. Excuse me. A less level...
We are merely stating the obvious. If you are threatened...
And just give the UC free run of the archive? Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. I will not be the one responsible for its... You're really gonna push this? All right. I'm listening. Oh, yes. This band research is precise. No one does, Captain. If you think some flowery language is gonna change my mind... Captain, I'm sorry, but my answer is not changing.
Sounds like it was a real mess down at the spaceport.
¿Cómo llego allá, se supone?
I suppose that is ours now. Eh?
Ah, era de subir aquí.
Agent detected. Patching in playback.
Son of a bitch! Cameron! Are you alright, Ambassador? It seems the Council of Governors has rejected my appeal to join. Again. Which means you and I are stuck in this colonial rat cage until we die. But I think we might need to. Should expedite the process. What are you getting at, ma'am? I mean, my requests keep being rejected because they don't want to add a seat, right? But what if one opened up? The mind is hard. Isn't what it used to be. It's not like anyone would miss him. Eva, I think it's time to get some sleep. Just think about it. Maybe we can reach out to some experts at that sort of thing, huh? Good night, Eva.
Official business? Talk to the ambassador.
Did I not make myself abundantly clear? Excuse me? No, no. Look, I believe we may have gotten off on the wrong foot. The issue at hand is one
Esa huevada, ¿a qué te refieres? No tengo la menor idea.
So perhaps if I can trust you to keep this little secret between us, then maybe we can... But where are my manners? Here, my pistol.
Papá.
Good, good. I appreciate you working with me.
Me
Just
dio
like
un
I'm
arma.
sure our great powers will. In fact, I think there's an opportunity here. I can only let you get the information on the Terramorphs. And all research will need to be monitored. Freestar scientific observers. But those two items should be in... Good, good.
¿Qué es lo que me ha dado? Ambassador. Ultracargador de calibre 43. 46 de golpe. Y la 2 hace 16 nada más. Nunca lo vi.
They
Pero
tell
bueno.
me it should only take a moment. And there. Here you go. I hope that'll be enough to maintain your discretion. You're going to be discreet with that information, I hope.
Podías robar la información directamente sin hablar con ellos, quizás. No creo, porque acá todo está más diseñado para... como que es más tecnológico. El otro obviamente son armas hechas improvisadas. En Fallout.
I suspect that was very much intentional.
Like when someone insults you.
I appreciate that they have not demolished the structure, even if diplomacy may not have been their intention. This is certainly different than anything else in New Atlantis.
No le puedo robar estos maniquís.
Unsupervised, and it seems this tree has decided it now owns this place.
Pareciera que fuera donde crían a los...
Meet your death. And once again, we are triumphant.
Did they have anything of value?
Ordenador de sistemas locales. Madre. Hay 4, 6, hay que ser... ¡Qué gracia! Ya lo hice aliado a la torreta. Pero rato. Cuando guardé no había robots. Cuando guardé no había robots. Hay 5. Esta era la interfaz de control de robot. Valió verga, pues. Me gasté ganzúas para nada. Arriba. Sí. Y ahora regresar. Rápido se le va la bala.
The spoils of victory. Hopefully they amount to something.
So, what seems punishment becomes providence. A reminder we can never truly know the Great Serpent's designs for us. You have my thanks, and my apologies for the ordeal you just endured. Come, let us discuss. not the ideal introduction. I suspect the venom tree upstairs has worked itself into... Tell me though, what is it like outside? Is the rest of this... Harmless spores, you have my word, but hard to navigate. Hence, it is the sap of the tree that gives it its... well, but I must know of the rest of... I take it you didn't... Yes, the entire embassy was thrown into lockdown. A disconcerting experience. Is that right, huh? Now, it cannot solely be the serp. You were sent by the UC. And the broadcast spoke of terror. A worrying occurrence, certainly, but... So the UC requires... The preservation of life stands as the very purpose of... But, if I am to... For years, House Varun has been known only as an agent of... In exchange for my code, I require this. You must be... The knowledge you ask for isn't evil. No knowledge is. It is we who bend it to... A fine counterexample. And absolutely capable of being... And here you are. I might be willing to support you if I knew.
Every measure will be taken to ensure the information...
Well, please. Let's hope it still works. And there. Let it be used for good. You will be so lucky next time the archives need to be accessed. The affairs of House Varun are our... House Varun committed. This was said at the time to be the desire of the great. So, when my brethren left, I remained, honoring this. It was tolerable. We remade this place as best we could into a home we all would recognize. With my brethren gone, it has been trying. The Great Serpent. When our founder, Jinan Varun, left the United Colonies, the Serpent made us who we are today.
Si me hago de su religión, ¿me da la llave para entrar o qué? Me subí mal, creo. Por aquí. ¿Lo convenciste de que te dé la llave? Che, pero fueron una hora buena y 2 horas de estar jodiendo de arriba para abajo. Ya se quedó esta verga. Ah, no, ahí está.
Howdy.
Captain, I just received a... Did you actually... Dealing with the interests and egos of... And now, I've already arranged... When you get down there, the UC monitor will give you... Here, the UC code piece and an absolute best behavior down there.
Duranga Lila. Vamos pues.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
By the Freestar Collective's ragtag fleet, both sides decided...
Captain, we've been expecting you. Please approach the monitoring station and we will go over the rules. Welcome, Captain, to the Archives. To proceed, you will need to deposit your codes into the 3 corresponding receptacles. Once they are verified, I will open the door. Your data resides in Unit 18. You will not be able to access any of the other units. Once you've collected your data, return to the entrance. You may insert the first of the archival codes when you're ready to begin.
Nos vemos, Ángel. Cuídate, gracias por venir.
There you are.
Captain. Surprised to find out we're having visitors as we work.
Major Sinan and I were just discussing the merits of your planned interfactional cooperation. I think it's a great idea. Get them invested in the solution. Make it clear we've got nothing to hide.
I'm sure they'll be lovely house guests.
Now, Captain, if you wouldn't mind transferring the documents to the Major, she and I have been discussing next steps. We've got all the clearances we need.
Time for us to start getting
hand
some
the data
mail.
over to the Major.
So whenever you're ready. Yes. Percival and I have done our damage.
Plus, you don't need her word. We'll be setting up oversight alongside the collective.
Acknowledged and accepted, Captain. So with the data out of the way, we've been discussing where exactly the Red Devil's headquarters on Mars, back where you found Percival, should even be able to house its own though it sounded like the deputy had a few more.
Indeed. The most important of which.
Then I guess we'll see you on Mars.
Captain, if you'll follow me. It won't take long.
Yes? What?
Pobre Perry.
What? Oh.
Hey, be careful not to point that thing at me.
All right, Captain. Are you ready to become... Good. This isn't the only item we need to Please raise your hand. Captain, through your actions today and in days past, you have earned your... through service, bravery, strength, and upholding of the... Then, Captain, I'm pleased to welcome you into the United... Here, your official ID. We've also let the Aphelion Realty office out in the plaza know you're approved to purchase property. Now, the other item we need... There's a member of the UC who's asked to speak to you. But normally, we wouldn't even consider something like this. But we think this person... And they've stated they'll only share it with you. So I need your agreement that everything you're about to see is kept in the... I'm sorry. Let's hope it never comes. Head to the elevator. You're going to subsection 7. On the...
Yes? Is that it, then?
Bueno, muchachos, voy a guardar aquí. Nos vemos el jueves con Starfield. Porque otra vez se puso un poco Z. Pero pues no todo puede ser acción 100%, ¿no? Pero ya pues. Solo voy a dejar hasta que duerma para que se recupere el pedazo de vida que le queda. Muchas gracias, nos vemos, perros.
Enjoying New Atlantis, but this is much better.
A mi mirs.